Hi again then guys, and welcome to episode 11 of Heavy Hitters, the review series for the SUVs, trucks and 4x4s of Gran Turismo 6. And this vehicle kind of isn't a heavy hitter, because although it certainly is a 4x4, it's not heavy at all. It's actually one of the lightest cars in this category. It only weighs just under 1100, or just over 1100 kilos at 1117. And although it doesn't have a massive amount of power at 440 horsepower fully tuned, which incidentally is pretty good for its engine and its age, but still not class leading, the fact that it's so lightweight more than makes up for its lack of straight line power. Now, as it happens, it also puts out 374 pound-feet of torque, which again is more than enough really for such a lightweight, ultra-compact 4x4. And the PP, even when fully tuned, is only 516, which is remarkably low for a competition spec vehicle. But that's actually a good thing, because it means that you can race it in more relevant, lower PP races without having to detune it too much. Now, the engine, incidentally, that it gets its 440 horsepower from is a turbocharged 2.6 litre unit, which is pretty good power from such a small engine. Now, obviously this is a rally vehicle, Rally Raid specifically, and as such it's primarily designed, of course, for rallying. As it happens though, it's a superb road racer as well. Now, obviously it's very good off-road on dirt and snow, just like its newer brother, the newer shape version of the Pajero. But this version, I would say, is actually the better of the two, because even though it doesn't necessarily have the same straight line performance as the newer model, it's a lot smaller, a lot lighter, has a lower PP, and is more fun and easier to drive. And they both cost around the same as well. This version is slightly cheaper, if I remember correctly, but is still a 400 grand vehicle. Now, the problem with both of the Rally Raid Mitsubishis are, although they're good cars, they're almost a little bit over-niched, because like the Tickford Falcon Aussie V8 touring car, they're the only vehicles of their kind on the game, so they don't really have any real rivals. The only cars that you can legitimately put these up against in rallying would be WRC spec machines or Pikes Peak models, and that's just not a fair comparison. Now, fully tuned perhaps, but up against a fully tuned WRC machine, it's always going to fall behind. So, is it really any good? Is it that useful in the long term for the price? Well, there's no getting away from the fact that it is very expensive. 400 grand is a lot for a vehicle that has 440 horsepower. But I would actually say that this version of the two especially is actually worth that money. Not only because it's a historic rally car, which makes a great collector's piece, but also because it's a genuinely brilliant little 4x4. No, it doesn't have massive straight line performance. It will never beat a Pikes Peak Quattro or a Dodge Ram in a straight line. But it's about as small as a hatchback. It's ultra short, ultra narrow, reasonably tall, depending on suspension height of course, and very, very lightweight. And for tracks such as here at Eiger Nordvad, that is perfect. You can throw this car around corners, as you can see, almost like a gymkhana machine, and there are very few SUVs or trucks that you can throw around corners like this just due to how big they are. You'll just crash into walls. So overall, it's not a car that you could take on any track and win, but on certain tracks, especially twisty ones and of course rally tracks, it's actually a highly competitive machine, not only for its PP, but also against, on paper, what would seem to be more superior rivals. And of the two, if you're looking to buy one of the Mitsubishi Rally Raid 4x4s, I would recommend this one much more strongly than the newer version. Not that the newer version's a bad car, but this version really fits its niche better than that version, of course, in my opinion. So overall, kind of a quirky and unique vehicle on Gran Turismo, and one which is a pretty interesting alternative collector's piece for anyone who likes competition and obviously especially rally-based vehicles. So that's it for this episode. I'll see you guys next time, and as always, thanks for watching.